If you're new to practicing scales and soloing, what should you practice daily? What are the scales that you should go into? And the first answer, of course, is none less than the pentatonic scale, right? You need that because it is the foundation of the sound, right? And that is the sound we use for blues, for blues-based rock, for melodic rock. You can use it in pop. It's kind of the sound of a guitar solo. That's how used that scale is. So the pentatonic scale is both a minor scale and it's a major scale, depending on what key you're in when you're playing it. But you can start by learning the first position minor pentatonic in the 5th fret, right, where you got all the notes in the same fret. This scale and its 5 different shapes are all over the internet, so just look up the 5 shapes of the pentatonic scale. And then you start learning that. And then the most important thing about the next 2 scales, which is only 1 scale, isn't that neat? We only need to learn 2 scales. And if you learn 2 scales, you are more advanced than 90% of guitar players out there. There are people with a whole long career of decades of playing guitar who only know the pentatonic scale because it's so useful. But it also becomes your safe zone. And if you want to go the next step, and I really advise you to do, then you can take each shape of the pentatonic scale and then you can apply the natural minor scale to that pentatonic scale. So if you're playing A minor pentatonic, you simply superimpose the 5 shapes or the first shape of the natural minor scale on top of that. So now underneath your fingers here, you have 2 shapes. You can use the natural minor, that was the pentatonic, minor pentatonic, right? Or the natural minor. And what we then do is first we learn the pentatonic and we become really good at playing. So we can play some music with that and we add the blue note as well. The blue note is simply the flat 5th. So if you have a pentatonic scale, a minor pentatonic, in A, then it will be the note that is 1 string up and 1 fret up, just like right there, the E flat right there in the case of A. And we add that, but we can add all kinds of other notes, the chromatic notes, to that pentatonic scale, but it is your safe zone. But once you have that down and you can really play some soloing in that, then you want to add the natural minor for that melodic rock or pop music, whenever you play with, the songs we learn, right, with normal chords. But you also want to learn how to combine it with the Dorian minor, but that's the same scale. But the combination of scales are different. So, for instance, if you want to learn the A natural minor, that's pretty cool because that's the same root note, right? A natural minor. But A natural minor is actually the same as the C major scale. So when you are playing the minor pentatonic, the A minor pentatonic, you're also playing at the same time the C major pentatonic. Same thing. When you're playing the A natural minor scale, you're playing the C major scale at the same time. It's just 1 scale. It's the same thing. Just depends on what note you're really focusing on as the home, the root note, right? But when you combine the A minor pentatonic with the Dorian minor, that's the same as saying that I'm playing a G major scale along with my A minor pentatonic. Confused? Well, just save this video, right? And then learn the minor pentatonic scale. Once you've done that, you can come back and say, okay, now I'm ready for the natural minor. Once you've been playing around with that for a while, then you're ready to say, okay, I can also play a G major scale on top of my A minor pentatonic, and that gives you another set of notes. Right? And that works really well for blues with that scale. Right? Adding those extra notes from the G major scale over your A minor pentatonic with the blue note. Right? Works well for blues, works well for blues-based rock like AC/DC. Rock that sounds like that, which is a lot, right? And then melodic rock is a different realm. It's like la-ba-dee-da-dee, and we used our open string chords with 3 notes in them and not these power chords that has only 2 notes in them. That's blues-based rock. This here is melodic rock and pop and classical music. So basically what you need to do is you don't need to learn, in fact, you need not to learn each scale as a separate entity. That's what I did. I played up and down the pentatonic shapes. Then I played up and down the major scale shapes. And then I tried to combine the major scale with the minor pentatonic and the major pentatonic in the ways I just described. You don't want to do that. You want to learn the pentatonic shapes, right? And you want to really spend some time with the first and the fourth position for phrasing, and then use the others as kind of passing shapes. You need to know, you need to use them, right, to get around the fretboard. But there are places within the pentatonic scale that are really nice to operate in when you play slower lines, like, right? And then there are places that are kind of awkward that we use for, you use kind of moving through, right? And then you have those stations, and the first and the fourth position minor pentatonic or blues scale are kind of where I think I'm the most comfortable phrasing. But once you've learned those, you want to add the other two, scales, which is the same scale. But you want to add it one shape at a time with a jam track in the background, having fun, using that first position minor pentatonic, then adding the notes of the natural minor. Going into those extra notes you get from that. Then you want to put on a blues rock based sound and use the Dorian afterwards. You want to learn the scales together. They are worth nothing by themselves, except for the pentatonic scale. I hope this makes sense. If you're on a level where you don't know what scales to use, then it probably doesn't make that much sense. It's just, what the heck are you talking about? But just take it one step at a time. Save this video, as I said, learn the pentatonic scale, then come back, see what do I do now, then add it on top of the other and start playing around with it. Use your pentatonic, move in and out of the superimposed scale on top of it. You will develop 10 times faster than if you were to try and learn all the major minor scale shapes one at a time like you did the gauge shapes of the pentatonic. Hope that makes sense. Please let me know if it makes sense in the comments so I can explain and produce a new video that explains the questions I get. So I hope to see you in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe and go download the free course.